Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Ruff and Neuro on Newkirk Precinct. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Ruff from Storm Gaming. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Neuro from Root Gaming. So a GM versus GM StarCraft 2 game sent to me over Twitter at Falcon Paladin. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's a pretty good place to be. You can see all my casts. I like to retweet interesting news from the StarCraft 2 esports universe. I like to tell you when certain players are streaming on Twitch. Just, you know, if you're on Twitter, give me a follow, Falcon Paladin. Pretty easy to find. All right, so here we have a great game between two players who are excellent in their own right. Ruff has been on the channel before, as has Neuro. And again, GM level play means you know this will be good and creative. And creative as well. Both these players do have presences online. I put links to their YouTube and or Twitch channels in the description. Check them out for more StarCraft 2 action from them when I'm not actually posting casts. And let's do this thing. So, Neuro does go for the hatch first, into an extractor, into a pool against the Terran player. Ruff has been known to go mech. He's kind of a meching player. I've tried to contact him in the past to ask if he wouldn't mind supplying me with mech replays. He just never responded, which happens a lot. Happens a lot to me. I think a lot of players are not interested in having their stuff cast on YouTube just because it gives their opponents a bit of an idea as to what they're up to when it comes tournament time. At least that was Beastie Cutie's response when I talked to him about a year ago. Spawning pool, again, just about 50% complete there from Neuro. Neuro could probably go for a third hatch here. Ruff is going for a non-Reaper expand at this point. Command Barracks is throwing down a reactor. Command center on the way. There's no early harass at all planned from Ruff at this point in time. Silverlord's moving out for Neuro. I don't know where this one's going. This one's heading up north. There's no reason to go up there. Just, I mean, for scouting purposes anyway, unless it's looking for proxy stuff, because you can only spawn in the bottom left and bottom right hand corners on this map. So, it is a conundrum. It's definitely a conundrum. Alright, let's see. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, I know. I'm watching Gravity Falls with my wife. Got a Hulu Plus subscription. I was able to pull those up. And I know it's a cartoon, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty smart show. And pretty darn hilarious as well. Just watched the episode with some body swapping going on. And it was, oh my gosh, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time at TV. So maybe give Gravity Falls a shot. Pretty good stuff. I think it's on, I'm pretty sure it's on Cartoon Network. I don't actually know where it airs. These days, I don't have cable, so I don't know what channel anything's on. I just pull it up on the Netflix or on the Hulu, and that's where it lives. Third base on the way from Neuro. Moving out across the map with 4 slowlings is a Neuro. I mean, I don't know what he's planning on accomplishing here, as 3 minutes in the game is probably too late to do anything. But a big wall here from Ruff. He's got a barracks, he's got a factory, he's got a bunker with 4 Marines in it. This is going to hold off an infinite number of fast lings, unless it's a Baneling bust. Ruff is safe here for the next couple of minutes, that's for sure. Losing 1 ling running up that ramp, very dangerous. And the factory does have the reactor now. So I'm assuming at this point we're going to see some Hellion production out of Ruff, but we don't see any yet. He's actually getting a 3rd command center. Wow! Aggressive player right now. I haven't seen enough to know for sure if this is mech or not. Yeah, Hellions are coming out. I guess the fact the barracks is completely silent tells me this is probably going to be mech, because if it wasn't, this would be pumping stuff out, and there'd be additional barracks as well. Unless, again, this is just a crazy aggressive macro play out of Ruff. Either way, Zerg player Neuro very happy to be left alone this long into the game. It's 35 to 29 total harvesters. We're going to see that start to spike very quickly. Evolution Chamber just now throwing down. Got some queens, making additional queens as well. Again, queens are just great for early defense against all manner of things. With the exception, I mean, not that great against Hellions, it turns out. They just don't hit hard enough to take the Hellions down before they're out of the range, because Hellions are quick. They are quickly, says my brain. Did that Ling try to get up this ramp and die again? Looks like he did. Hellion count looking pretty robust at this point in time. There are 4 of them. A starport coming up. Engineering Bay on the way as well, and our scouting barracks, there we go, I know it's mech, has made its pilgrimage out to the middle of the map. Can Zerg player not see this? Either way, 3rd base landing. Hellions taking down a scouting link at the front door of Ruff's base. 3rd base complete. Landing, a planetary fortress on the way. That's what that engineering bay was for, and Hellions moving out. Try to see what damage they can do. What do we got here? 12 lings are on the way for Neuro, and some 3 queens. Some 3 queens. Ah, Ling drop inside the main base. Oh no! Oh no, a lot of dead SCVs here. The Ling drop, very good. Oh, Neuro. Drop Lord getting chased away by them Marines. Ling's still alive, mind you. Still alive. Hellions burning them up, though. Roast them alive. Zergling barbecue, a beautiful, beautiful delicacy on the Terran homeworld. Alright, so I mean, that was okay. That was alright, I would say. 4 SCVs killed in exchange for 11 Lings and an Overlord. Neuro's actually supply blocked because of that. Ouch. Ouch, that wasn't very fun. Spore Crawler coming in for a Neuro Extractor on the way as well. And Queens, I mean, waiting for those Hellions to show up, but that Ling drop absolutely forestalled the arrival of that of those Hellions. So good job. Good job by Neuro, maybe accidentally making that happen, or perhaps it was entirely on purpose. Corvid Reactor coming in. I always recognize that one because it's so red. So red, increasing the starting energy on those Hellions. Catching a couple transferring drones here at the third base is Ruff, getting inside this mineral line as well. Lings trying to find a place where they can roast them, surround them rather. Getting killed. 2 Hellions still alive. Roasting yet another drone and focusing them down. Can he get one more kill? Get it? Oh, yes, he does get it. He does get it. 5 drones killed. 4 Hellions. Again, might be not the most effective thing, but just forcing Neuro to throw Lings out, forcing Neuro to produce stuff other than drones right now is going to help him immensely. Meching players cannot sit back as long as they would like to and just do nothing while they get their huge mech army. Spire on the way from Neuro. because then the Zerg player just ends up on 7 bases and rolls you in about 10 minutes. Is the thing. So a player as good as Neuro can definitely do that in about 10 or 11 minutes. We're 6.5 minutes in, and he's already got 3 bases, 4 bases now on the way. 4th base to the left of his natural. And so you got to harass. You have to harass. You have to send Hellions in. Maybe some Raven auto turret harass would be an interesting option here as well. We have seen that on the channel recently. I don't know what level that game was, though. Who was doing that? Oh, it was Marine Lord. Never mind. That counts. Marine Lord counts as an acceptable person to follow. Ling's moving out here, trying to take down this 4th base, but this is already a planetary fortress, as we have previously discussed. Ling's getting mashed, getting a little bit too close. A little too close there. Perhaps they can get inside the natural. Lift the supply depot. Didn't lift the supply depot. Didn't matter. A lot of DPS there at the top of that ramp. Anyway, Hellions and Marines. Auto turrets available on those Ravens. Hunter-Seeker Missile would be interesting to hit Zerglings, that's for sure. I mean, it would require a player who is terrible at splitting to take that damage, but it'd be awesome. Awesome to see. Infestation Pit just now wrapping up. Out of Neuro, we have a Hydralisk Den coming in and 9 Mutas in production. So going that Ling Bling Muta. And by Bling, I mean no Bling, because he doesn't have a Baneling Nest. What is he doing? Lings, Queens, Mutalisks, and Hydras. Alright, so maybe Lurker. Lurker could be interesting. Ling's moving out. Ling burrowing at a potential... Actually, both potential 4th bases for Ruff. All potential 4th bases for Ruff have a burrowed Ling at them. Actually, that's very fun there as well. Alright, the Mutas, can they get in and do some damage is the question. 2 missile turrets and a bunker with Marines in it inside the main mineral line. Probably not there. 1 missile turret at the natural base, but there are a lot of Ravens and some Marines there at the same time. I just don't know. 2 missile turrets here at the 3rd base as well. I don't know where these Mutas can do a lot of damage, is the problem for Neuro. So he's moving out. He's moving out anyway. He's trying to come in and just kind of poke these defenses, recognizing, okay, there's turret, there's a turret. Maybe I can get this refinery. Getting shots to the face, almost losing 1 Mutalisk there. Can he get the refinery? Slowing down gas income on a meching Terran is great. He does get it and doesn't lose any of his Mutas, although several of them are down to single-digit hit points, which is not good. Auto turret being used to kill some changelings that were tossed down by Neuro while he was here. Planetary Fortress has 11 kills to his name. We do have a Hellion run by here at the 3rd base for Neuro, losing more of these drones. Only 2 Queens here. I don't know if it's enough. Wow, the drone massacre. A little bit more than I think Neuro would want. 12 dead drones there. And again, all that's here is Queens. You need more than Queens. Spine Crawlers, fine. Lings, fine. Roaches, very good. Lurker's pretty good too for base defense. You could go for a Lurker Den. Nope, getting a second Spire instead. That is a second one, right? It is a second one. Again, possibly accidental. I don't know. What is that upgrade? Recalibrated explosives. Increase the Seeker missile's damage by 30% and its tracking range by 50. I don't think I've seen anybody use this one. Really don't. Ruff trying to set up his 4th base to the north of his natural. Tosses down some auto turrets. gets rid of that Ling that way, the Burrowed Ling that way with the Raven detection. He has a lot of Ravens. 12 Ravens, 5 Hellions, and 8 Marines is the army for Ruff right now. So it's basically mass Raven. I don't know, man. The Muta's coming on in, trying to do some work, trying to pick off the SCV building missile turrets. He does manage to get that. New SCV going to finish the job, and he is. And he has possibly repair that missile turret as well, because it's down to 100 hit points. Repair it. Repair the missile turret. Not doing it. Not doing it. 5th base on the way for Neuro to the left of his 3rd, staying very compact, very close to home. This is how Zergs like to expand. Not too far away. Not too far away from anything else. I guess unless it's a ninja expand, in which case go for that. Thor's coming in. Ghost Academy coming in for Ruff as well. And a Greater Spire on the way for Neuro. All right. So we are going to see, I was going to say, that Spire, that double Spire was not an accident. We are going Greater Spire here for double upgrades on things like Corruptors and Broodlords. There's no reason to make a Greater Spire unless you want to make Broodlords, it turns out. 5 Vipers coming in for Neuro as well. All right, so it's 60 to 72 Harvesters. The Zerg player is definitely up. It is 5 base to essentially 4 base. Yeah, it's 4 base out of Ruff right now. So Zerg player's in a good spot. Not a ridiculously amazing spot, but I love the Corruptor count that he has. I like the Queen count that he has as well. 12 Queens, 18 Corruptors, 5 Vipers, 9 Mutalisks, and 13 Lings. So it's an interesting composition, but you need one to deal with the interesting composition that Ruff is tossing at you. Fast Lord trying to get in. No. Try to get into the main base to scout things out, but Missile Turret said, it may take me 16 shots to kill you, but you will die. You will die. First Broodlords morphing in their cocoons right here, middle-ish of the base, middle right side of the base. Muta's threatening, potentially going to threaten this 4th base, but there are 4 missile turrets. 4 missile turrets sitting here. Swarm Host coming in. Ghosts in production. This is a really, really interesting game. It's going to be a good one. I mean, it already is a good one, but we're going to see some really interesting, weird, micro-intensive battles here coming up. So stick with me. Ravens moving on out. Our mass Raven play. We have a Nidus Worm popping up here just north of this 4th base. I think this is going to be some Swarm Host Nidus play. Swarm Host and Nidus play coming in. A lot of Nidus on the channel recently, which I am a huge fan of. Yep, Swarm Host coming in. There's the eruption sound, and Ruff can actually see this because he has a sensor tower just north of his 4th base. Another Nidus Worm trying to come in here. Muta is getting, getting destroyed by missile turrets and by Thors. Run, Mutas, run. 5th base somewhat under construction here by Ruff. Worm pops here, and there are so many Thors and so many Hellbats. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Here we go. Locust getting tossed down here into this 4th base, though. Ling's running around as well. Locust trying to find and kill some things, but Planetary Fortress pretty good against a small number of Locusts. Ling try to do a run by. No, Ling run by. You're out. You are absolutely out. Queens coming in. Broodlords coming in as well. Goodbye. Using their ability. There we go. Broodlords getting surrounds on Thors. That is not what you want to see as a Terran player. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible existence on that one. There's an Abduct on a Thor. Getting surrounded and murdered there as well. Auto turrets being tossed down. It is going to be Broodling versus Auto turret. Free unit versus a free unit. Eventually, the Auto turrets expire because that's what they do. 4th base lifted off by Ruff. No, 5th base rather lifted off by Ruff here. Never really got that one going. It is 200 and 161 total supply. What can... It is going to be Hunter Seeker Missile. Moving on in, trying to get them. Broodlords and Vipers. Bam, big time shot there. Not enough to kill a Viper. Really, really clutch. Clutch Transfuses going down, but a lot of Hunter Seeker Missile coming in, doing some big time damage. Neuro splitting as best he can, transfusing as best he can as well. This 3rd base here of Ruff is under assault by so many Broodlings. Blinding Cloud being tossed down. Planetary Fortress can actually assist more Hunter Seekers, getting big time hits off. Not really killing a lot, though. The transfuses are just on point. Auto turrets being tossed down, trying to help us well. The 3rd base does fall. Oh, the 3rd base is gone. Ruff now is supply blocked, unfortunately. The Mass Raven play not doing as well as you would expect at this point in time. Here we go. Queens still popping up. Queen, Broodlord, pretty good against this composition that Ruff has here. He does have the tanks in his anti-air mode, where he's pretty good against hitting Broodlords in particular. Steady targeting being used by these ghosts, but no, Blinding Cloud and taken down. They are spotted and dead. Spotted and dead. Blinding Cloud on some of these Thors as well. Parasitic Bomb being thrown down on the Ravens. Ruff is trying to split as best he can here, but it is just absolutely continuing to show advantages for the Zerg army right about now. Broodlords trying to take down everything they can. A lot of dead Broodlord, though. The Thors are doing pretty well for themselves. Look at that. Thors using their new ability. All the Broodlords are now gone. Hydras, however, reinforcing, taking down those Thors with the +2/+1 attack. Thor versus Hydra, not a great spot for them to be in. And here we go. Hydra's moving on up. Is there enough to end the game right here? I don't know. I don't know for Neuro. Blinding Cloud on a bunker at the top ramp, the top of the ramp here at the natural base. Vipers yanking in Thors from the top of the ramp to die to the Hydralisks and to the Queens. More and more Hydras coming in. 141 to 93 total supply. Still has his 4th base. Does Ruff, but production is just so slow for mech. It's very difficult. Very difficult to manage here. Losing a Hydralisk. The repair on this bunker is pretty good. Actually, Hydra's, there we go. Coming up, focusing that thing down. Blue Flame Hellions trying to say no. He's going to save the bunker. Maybe? No, the bunker ends up falling. Blue Flame Hellions roasting up a few of these Hydras, but I think there are just too many. There are just too many of them. Do we have additional brood? Nope, Locusts. Locusts here at the front line as well. That's not what you want to see as a Terran players. Locusts right at your front door. Supply depots falling. Factories exploding. Pieces flying into the air here. Thor on the top of the ramp. This is it. Ruff is dead. He's dead in the water. The Ravens are trying to generate enough energy to throw down auto turrets and save this thing, but I just don't know that it's going to be enough is the problem of the day. Losing Ravens, getting picked off from the sky. Changelings tossed down by Neuro as well. It's not an overwhelming force by Neuro right here, but he's doing his best, and that's it. A good game. Good game out of Ruff. Ruff was defeated, and Neuro was victorious. Whew. Again, super weird one. Again, anytime Ruff's involved, weird stuff. Neuro likes to do interesting compositions as well. So fantastic play by both of these players. Ruff tried to rely on those Hunter Seekers, right? He upgraded them, he used them, but unfortunately for him, they're not exactly one-shots. And every time they hit, Neuro was able to transfuse the units that took the damage and have them continue fighting for another day. And that was the big deal. That was the big deal there. Hydra is coming in as well, continuing to make units during the attack and sending them to the front lines. Hydras, that's really what saved it there. Because if it wasn't for the Hydras, I think Ruff just stabilizes at that point, and he's not necessarily dead. He's in a bad spot, but he's not necessarily dead. But the Hydras allowed Neuro to push on through and secure the victory. All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.